So, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, huh? So I think I know pretty much what everyone's thinking about it, but I wanted to add my stone to the building, one could say. I am concerned. I really am concerned. So there are two things. First, I want to talk about the console itself. Nintendo doesn't exactly make a big deal with the power, etc. of the console, and the Switch 2 looks more powerful than the Switch 1, definitely. But we don't exactly know how much, and I won't lie, it's a bit hard to tell with what's being shown. Like, I can tell that Breath of the Wild looks better. I can tell that the Mario Kart video game that they showed will probably have trouble on the original Switch. I can tell that the other games that are getting updates for the Switch 2 would probably also struggle. But I cannot exactly tell how much of a power upgrade was given. In terms of new feature, there's also something of a drought, one could say. The new Joy-Cons get the little mouse mode that, I will admit, looks very interesting. I really like getting new input methods for video games. I think that gives other people tons of cool ideas for video games. Like, I was a hater for the Wiimote back then as a kid. But it was a really good idea. Like, there was some Wiimote stuff that was clever, and there was some Wiimote stuff that was funny, just like there was some Wiimote stuff that was absolutely shitty. Like, both things are important and true. But it isn't exactly an entirely new thing. It's a mouse, it's a computer mouse. There are some video games that use mouses already. But having both a mouse and a controller in one can be interesting. I guess it's as if like you had one of those gaming mouses for PC that have like way too many buttons. That's the vibe to me. And there was one game that seems to make a lot of use of the mouse feature. But yeah, it was something interesting, but like visually interesting. But I don't exactly know what to think of it. It doesn't look exactly... Okay, so basically it looks like ARMS. You know how ARMS was like, oh, this is a direct correlation between having two Joy-Cons and a video game concept. And ARMS looked flashy, etc. Like it looked like there was some care put into ARMS. There was some spirit, some art, if you will. This doesn't exactly feel like that. It feels soulless, I'm sorry to say. Okay, maybe it's my like Gen Z brain rot, but I expect to see like characters, an art direction, like something, and there kinda hasn't. This feels like Rocket League, but for wheelchairs. And that can be fun in itself, but even Rocket League looks flashier than this. And I think they could have made something flashy with this. I don't know what to think about that one. And aside from that, what's been really showcased, took 10 minutes out of the whole last Direct, was a game chat. So this is like 80% software and 20% hardware. This is a Discord on your Nintendo Switch. It has game sharing, it has screen sharing, it has cameras, it has green screens, it has noise reduction. This is cool, but is it $500 console cool? I'm not sure. I'll say this, download play is huge. Basically how this works is literally download play for the DS, both in local multiplayer and online video game chat. And I will say this, I've missed download play. Some games like Wolfenstein, I think, had something of a patch. Had something of a working solution where someone would get like their game and you would download a guest edition that you could only play if you had someone who had the full game. And I mean, that worked. But I'm glad to see this being more officialized and hopefully more popular. In general, with the announcement of now doing remade digital games sharing, like one game is one license and you can share that license around with your family. I would say that there's something of a noticeable shift in this product towards the multiplayer crowd, the always online crowd, and it makes sense. A lot of us are chronically online. Half of me is, this would have been great to have during the COVID era, when everyone and their mothers bought a Switch and Ring Fit Adventure. This is a little late, but I guess it's better than never. But yeah, there's also something else that encourages you to get digital games, physical games, and that's a $10 difference. And also €10 difference? Oh god, that's another thing. Anyway, focusing. Yeah, I don't like that. No, I really don't like that. I don't like having... Okay, here's the thing. By itself, I think it is a reasonable standard to have digital games be less expensive than physical ones. There's less hands involved in the process, they get all of the money, it does make sense. I would have accepted that either if it was a discount, $60 for your physical game and $50 for the digital version, or I could have maybe accepted that If the games weren't fucking expensive, I'm not paying that much for my Mario Kart or for my Donkey Kong. Are you crazy? No, this is wrong. This is setting a very dangerous standard for the industry that I really do not like. And the fact it's fucking Nintendo showing this makes me really upset. Because they make fun games, right? They make fun games. I don't doubt that they have long development cycles, etc. You guys don't exactly put power into your products. And it is not unreasonable to want a little more for your buck. Like this, the new Donkey Kong game looks fun. It looks nice. I'm not sure if it required that much more development budget than Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. It certainly did not ask for more than Tears of the Kingdom. And here's the thing, now that the Pandora's box has been opened, you can be sure people are gonna buy the new Switch console, Mario Kart, etc. And as always, you can't pardon one of them for no good reason, because the other eyes in the industry are looking. And if Sony looks, they can get away with selling their storytelling-based action third-person games for $100. Microsoft will be looking with the new Halo, Gears of War, or Forza and be like, oh, we spent so much time mapping the whole world for racing games. Surely that deserves a bit more money. And they're gonna do it too. And I know that we're spoiled on video games because if you count the ratio of hours of entertainment to the price you paid, video games beats the shit out of cinema that also requires much more budget. I don't know if I'm quite ready for it to be this pricey. And I think a lot of people aren't ready either, because if you can tell, this is a bit of a tough moment for everyone worldwide that isn't buttloaded with money. I don't know, I don't like that. So we have a bit of a nasty combination of the Switch 2 maybe noticeably more powerful than the Switch 1, we don't know for sure. It doesn't exactly bring a lot more other than power in the hardware department. The new Joy-Con 2 are nice, but because they don't exactly change up a lot of things, you can even use your Joy-Con 1 equipment no problem. Like, literally to play Ring Fit Adventure you have to do that anyway, because the Joy-Con 2 doesn't have the IR sensor. It doesn't even fit in the leg strap or the Ring-Con. There's plenty of niche cases like for this, and I think it was Nintendo Labo, the cardboard thing. Anyway, you can use your Joy-Con 1, and for the most part you'll be able to do it. You just won't be able to use Game Chat with the Game Chat default button. You'll have to probably press the home button and then go to Game Chat. Woe is you. But yeah, there's no hardware improvements. There's no crazy thing like the Wiimotes or the Joy-Cons or the Gamepad from the Wii U. This is a Switch 2 in the most literal sense of the word, and I know you'll be big shocker, right? But like, I expected a little more. Am I insane for expecting a little more? It's been 7 years, damn it. And pricey as shit. You can't even use your old SD card. You can't. And you expect me to shell out this much money, and there's not even that many games at launch, and they're expensive as fuck. Like, I wanted to get into this video in the mindset of like, oh, I'm a bit miffed, but that's fine. But the more I talked about it out loud, I'm getting, wait, that's stupid, I've waited this long for it. And I'm honestly mostly hyped about the games that were announced in the Direct that was prior, and the one for the Switch 1 games, the last one. Because there was a Metroid Prime 4, there was more news about Legend Z Day, there was Tomodachi Life 2, that one I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, what are we doing? What are they doing? That's crazy to me. I'll be not getting it on day one. I was probably gonna get it on day one before. But with this... after? No, thank you. I'm not sure. And I'd like to know which ones of you are gonna get it on day one, which ones are gonna wait until it gets less expensive, or God forbid, more expensive because the trade wars are common. Maybe you're gonna wait for more games, because there's one genuine game, that's Mario Kart at launch. One big game. That's not even a solo game, that's a multiplayer game. On the release of the Switch, I waited for more time. Also because I was cheap, I don't lie to you guys. But yeah, Breath of the Wild one game, one only valuable game, but it was a solo game with tons of playtime. Mario Kart will probably have lots of playtime, that's a multiplayer game. And I know they're breaking in online multiplayer probably for a reason in this thing. They're only yapping about online multiplayer and game chat and whatnot. But some people like to play solo games? Yeah, I mean, let's think of them. And having the option is nice because sometimes you don't have a lot of friends available, and especially during summer vacation. And I guess we'll see. There's also Donkey Kong releases not too long after the console, and it does look fun. This will redeem Donkey Kong 64 as a concept to everyone, and I'm fine with that. And the new redesign looks fine. I'm not a fan of the movie redesign for the games, but this model looks so much more expressive that I think it beats out my preference. Anyway. And there's the Take Demo game that's supposed to be free, but apparently it's gonna be paid and looks like a bunch of post-its going up. Oh yeah, this is how the Switch 2 works. What the? Wii Sports was free! What are you doing? Astrobot, that's a full-ass game, and this... Man... Yeah, the Switch 2 looks stupid. I'm not gonna lie, it looks stupid. I'm sure it's gonna have a perfectly fine library. It can have the Switch ROM library with some upgrades, some free, some paid. It's gonna be fine. If you don't have a Switch right now, you can get a Switch 2. You're gonna have a bunch of Switch 1 games that you're especially gonna have secondhand for not a whole lot because the prices are gonna get a little lower. But on the Switch 2 side, if you come from the Switch 1, honestly, I'd say keep your Switch 1 for now, and then grab the new one whenever it has shown that it will have banger games, or whenever it gets less expensive, because Jesus Christ. Yeah, can't wait to see where this will go. Curious to hear what you guys think about it. Toodles!